Aviation connects communities, it connects people, it helps business occur, and there seems to be an increasing demand for it year over year. So it's more important than ever that we train qualified pilots, that we provide opportunity to those that dream of finding a life and a career in the cockpit, and train them like airline pilots from day one.
If you tell somebody that you're using Diamond aircraft for training, you immediately gain respect.
Flight schools need to be flying aircraft that are in the 21st century for our future pilots. That's why Qantas has chosen Diamond.
It was time to upgrade on the next level. And the next level is a fuel-efficient, first-class avionic, airliner-type, Airbus, Boeing-type cockpit.
Students that come in for those initial tours love to see the hangar. They love to look at the diamonds. And it kind of seals the deal. They want to come to Lift, and they love the idea of an accelerated program and that we are, airline based from the get-go, and the diamonds are the cherry on top.
Lift Academy is an airline training program that starts at hour one, helping them experience an operating environment where we have airline-grade safety programs. It's always been our intention to take as much of that advanced material as possible and move it to the left all the way to hour one of training. Lift was seeking a training platform for our academy. We wanted to find an airplane that would most closely approximate what the pilots are going to see once they get to the airline and they're flying the Embraer E-Jet.
Riga, Latvia is in the Baltic states, the center of aviation. AirBaltic, we are today a very innovative carrier connecting the Nordics to the world. People say that I'm running the airline like an entrepreneur, and I try with all my management to run the company as if it would be our company. That also explains why we can move faster, why we're very innovative. When you employ a co-pilot today, then you do an interview and ideally you find out whether that can be a captain. Because a captain today on an aircraft is a manager representing the airline outside the airline with everything we stand for.
When the company is growing, you need to have enough people because the people is capital. So we invested in the capital by saying, okay, we want to have quality from the very beginning. So that is why it was the decision to create our own academy when we can see what we are selecting, how we are training, and how we're delivering to the airline.
It's the brand's name, of course. Lufthansa is a global player. Everybody knows the name, and we try to match these expectations. And it's a great heritage and a big responsibility to keep that up. So we're looking forward to put some ambitious and fascinated people into the cockpit. That is the main emphasis of the final stage of their training, to have the students feel comfortable when they're in really bad weather. And that puts them ready to enter some kind of airline, like in the Lufthansa Group, and start flying Airbuses. Previous airplane was Piper 44 Seminole, and I believe it is designed in the 40s or 50s. It is a good, sturdy airplane, but I think it was time to upgrade on the next level. And the next level is a fuel-efficient, first-class avionic, airliner-type, Airbus, Boeing-type cockpit.
Qantas had this vision. They wanted to put a training school in a regional area in Australia. Not surprisingly, Queensland was selected because that's where Qantas was founded. The idea is they want to be totally self-sustaining in providing their own supply chain of pilots going forward. Currently, we have 60 Diamond 40s and 12 DA42s. So we have a really tremendous safety record, and Diamond is part of that.
A little known fact is that every trainee pilot that goes into Qantas Academy will learn to fly on a Diamond DA40 and 42.
Diamond develop aircraft for a certain market that other manufacturers don't. We had Cessnas and Pipers, but none of them made a 4-cylinder variable pitch prop fixed undercarriage with a glass cockpit. Diamond picked that market perfectly for us, so there was no second thoughts about what aircraft we were going to pick. For training, perfect, absolutely.
So we evaluated the market and we found that the Diamond aircraft, the DA-40 and the DA-42, with their electronically controlled engines with a single power lever, as well as things like synthetic vision, autopilots, flight directors, and just a really reliable and stable platform for our pilots to train on, made the Diamond fleet a pretty easy decision for us. So we're currently operating a fleet of over 50 Diamond aircraft, including the DA-20C1, the DA-40NG, and the DA-42-6. Primarily, our training is conducted in the DA-40NG. It's a single-engine trainer. Our students do their private, instrument, and commercial initial in that before progressing on to learn more advanced skills in the DA-42. Fleet uniformity benefits both the student and the operator. So from a student's perspective, having commonality between each aircraft they fly every day is incredibly important. It's exactly what we do in the airlines, right? We train pilots to fly a specific aircraft type. When they show up for work every day, they know what to expect. Each and every one of our aircraft in the fleet are configured identically. When a student gets in, they're not worried about, what kind of GPS it has, or whether it has an autopilot or not, or how the aircraft is configured, what type of engine it has. They're getting the same experience every day, so they can focus on what's important. There are certain technologies in the DA-40NG and the DA-42 that prepare pilots for transitioning to the complex jet aircraft. Having things like the flight path vector in the Garmin G1000 NXI with the synthetic vision, the flight path vector is your primary symbology in the E-jet. Therefore, we want to introduce our pilots to that as early as possible, or Hour 1 as we referred to.
The investigation of the world availability of general aviation aircraft, Diamond was popping up as the best suiting our needs because it has the same cockpit layout as Airbus 220, synthetic vision, it has all the modern avionics, and also it's a safe aircraft that burns least fuel, and also suitable for the transition from the single pilot, multi-pilot into the airline, was very well presented by the Diamond. They're using Jet A1 fuel, so that was also very important because we've been aiming for being a green airline, and our motto is to be sustainable and also environmentally friendly, so the academy should be the same. Makes me smiley. The Diamond, which is producing the less noise footprint over the populated areas, so people are not complaining at all because the aircraft is very silent. The simulator is the part of the business as well. Without the simulator, you cannot train the pilots because before we even go for the first follow, we train the pilots in the simulator.
From maintenance side, it's a pleasure working on them because they are well built, well designed, easy to plan and schedule maintenance. It's one of the rare aircraft that has 100-hour inspection interval without any 50-hour inspection intervals.
It's an aircraft which is internationally very well respected. If you tell somebody that you're using Diamond aircraft for training, you immediately gain respect. Very reliable, and we use them now for many years, and good success rate with our pilots on AirBaltic.
Diamond DA-42 was chosen because its flying capabilities are quite extensive anti-ice protection. And on top of that, Lufthansa has chosen to equip it with weather radar. So we are feeling very comfortable in very bad situations to still go out flying, whereas some models we have been using before, we would have been canceling for that day. In airline training, where you have to be able to fly in land in bad weather, I think there's no match versus the DA-42 NG. The first contact of the student with the system is the simulator, so the student can really play around with the switches and make some mistakes. I never had a student that is going out of the simulator disappointed. DA-42 is in a typical cruise state. We're looking at 13 plus gallons per hour, the highest possible airline look-alike cockpit, efficient engine that is providing a low fuel burn. We are very happy about the DA-42 there.
Everybody's trying to find pilots. We have the ability to control the output of co-pilots through the academy.
Recently we've been talking with Diamond factory to have E-Diamonds, which is the new project, and we already negotiations about the future.
As we grow, today we have up to 80 aircraft. Let's say the airline would have one day up to 200 aircraft. The Pilot Academy plays a very important role because the future need for pilots on the globe is so big. We are already set up, and the AirBaltic Academy will be the enabler for us to become that airline we want to be.
I think Lufthansa and Diamond has similar values like reliability, safety, good reputation.
It's the perfect match. I cannot think of a button or a system I want to have in there. Very low fuel burn. It is a demanding, complex cockpit, which is good for the students which are just about to step into an airline cockpit. I'm very happy sitting in the DA42.
Lift Academy operates the largest fleet of Jet A-powered Diamond aircraft in North America, and we plan to continue expanding that fleet as we grow our business, as we bring more students into our training program. We've flown to date over 160,000 hours of flight time. We've had over 70 of our graduates transition to Republic Airways as pilots who are now upgrading to captain on the Embraer E-Jet. It's a lot of responsibility, but it's also a life-changing experience for these people that came in and entrusted Lyft with their aviation training, and being able to see that, we delivered on it and they delivered on it, us walking the path together. They are now fully realizing that dream of becoming an airline pilot and captain.